What's up, everybody? I got another review today on some luggage that we just got. This is called it's from a manufacturer called ASCG. It's a 24-inch check-in bag that retails for anywhere between $89 to $109. I think it just depends on the color you select. But this particular color is green, and it's $109 listed on Amazon. All right, well, let's get into the features of this bag on the outside. I'm going to talk about what this bag is made of. The bag is entirely made of a polycarbonate material. It has kind of a polished feel to it, almost like I don't know what you call that, kind of like a shiny feeling to it. Yeah, that's that. There is a built-in pre-TSA lock. There's a handle on one side and a handle on the top. There's a retractable handle as well that goes up. There is two. Yep, it goes up, has two different settings, one and another one there, links. There's also a really neat little feature here, an integrated cup holder. So you pull this out and you can put your cup, water bottle, or what you want in here. It can fit only a certain size, so you can't really stick anything too big in here, but it'll fit pretty much any kind of like cup that you get if you bought something at like a convenience store or like at a fast food place. It'll fit into this. On this other side where there's not a handle, there are three knobs here to keep the bag elevated when you put it on the ground sideways. So to protect the bag a little bit on that side. And then there are four spinner wheels. As you can see here, you can spin in any direction you want to. And lastly, there is one other cool little feature here. There is a port for if you want to charge your battery. You can attach this to a power bank on the inside of the bag, and then from there you can plug in your cable. It's a USB-A cable port, and you can use that to charge your whatever you need to charge using this port on the outside of the bag. And then, of course, there are the zippers. There's four different zippers, and I'll show you what these zippers function for and which pockets or areas of the bag you can get to using these zippers. All right, let's get into the rest of the bag. Okay, let's dive into the inside of the bag. So the zippers, I don't believe these are YKK, but this is the main zipper that goes to the main opening of the bag. The bag itself is divided into two sections. The top section has, on the divider, it does have a mesh pocket, a very big mesh pocket that's quite spacious. You can put any type of folders or papers inside of here, documents. And when you open up this divider here, this is actually the top of the bag, yeah. This is an area where you can place all your items. This divider on the other side, and I'll show you later, is where it has a laptop sleeve, a padded laptop sleeve. And it also has two other little pockets here for other items like a power bank or anything like that, or pencils and pens. Oh, I did forget to mention that right here there is a zipper right here, pocket, and this is where you would put your power bank. And here's the cord that goes to the port on the outside of the bag, the external port for you to charge items. So you'd attach this to your power bank and then put it into this little into this little mesh pocket, and this is where you would store that. Moving on. To the other side, you have your other half. This is the bottom half, which is where you're going to be putting most of your clothing. And as you can see here, it's pretty bare. There's nothing really there. I didn't notice there's no compression straps here, so nothing to hold your items down. And then you can feel the ribs for the retractable handle here. They take up, obviously, just like every other hard-sided bag, spinner bag, you'll have that. And then this divider, this zippable divider here, does have another pocket, an additional pocket here, you can see. And you can stick whatever items you want in there. All right. All right, let me get into this other unique feature of this bag. On the front, there's kind of like a little lid, a little zippered lid that you can unzip here. It is a little bit finicky, the zipper. It doesn't zip very well here. I'm not sure if it's caught up on something or what the deal is there. Okay, there we go. You have your lid here. And here is that other side of that divider that I was showing earlier. There is a laptop sleeve in here. Where you could put your laptop or your tablet, and this is for quick access. Like if you're rolling around, you can put that in there. If you just didn't want to have to open the whole bag up, you could just access your laptop and put it from right here, which is kind of an interesting thing to have. It's actually pretty useful. But you know, I'll talk about this a little bit later. But I feel it's better. It's more useful on a smaller bag, not an actual check-in bag. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the zippers on this one, and I'll show you this real quick, have protection from theft. So it's kind of anti-theft. There's these loops that you can actually stick onto the zipper, the main zippers, and then integrate that into the the TSA lock. All right, let me get into my pros and cons of this bag. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of this bag. Some of the things that I noticed, first of all, is this material. It just says it's a polycarbonate. I don't know what kind, but I feel like there's not a lot of rigidness to it. It seems like it's real pliable, so it's easy to like push. There's very, very little rigidity. You can see right here, I'm just kind of like barely doing this, and it's like just like pushing in. And it just, I don't know, it has sort of that kind of a cheap feel to it. I don't know how long this would actually last or how safe it would keep your items. Despite this being a hard-sided case, it doesn't provide that much protection because it's so like easy to like push and dent in. The other thing is the zipper. The zippers don't feel very high quality. The zippers are similar to what you would find inside of the bag on the pockets on the inside. They're really like flimsy and thin. And then especially on this top lid, when you go around this corner, it's real easy for it to get the zipper to get kind of caught up, and it's really hard to operate. And over time, I don't know if that's going to just bust the zippers really easily, but I'm not very confident in the reliability of the zippers in general with this bag. So see, already when I'm trying to zip this back up, it kind of got stuck there. And the same goes with the main compartment zippers too as well. Let's see, the other thing I didn't really like about this is they didn't have on the inside of the bag, there were no compression straps to keep your things pushed down. And I don't know, that's a pretty bit much of a new thing that I've ever seen on a bag like this. It's rare that you have a bag that doesn't have compression straps on it. Also, this front pocket with the laptop bag, with the laptop sleeve, I think it's a really cool feature. But unfortunately, for a bag of this size, this bag is meant to be checked in, not carried on. I don't see how this would be very useful because for one, you're not going to check in anything valuable like your laptop or tablets or anything like that. You're not going to stick this into your check-in part. That another thing is this external. Although it's nice to have this external charging port, your power bank. Since again this is meant to be a check-in bag, you can't have power banks inside of your check-in bags. You have to carry them around with you. So when you're going to use this, you'd have to actually take your power bank out and carry it with you on the airplane and then put it back in when you get off the airplane. And the same kind of goes with your laptop. You'd only be using this when you're rolling around after you've already gotten your bag. But you wouldn't want to stick anything valuable. So I just feel like this is more suited to something that's smaller that you can carry on, like a 20-inch carry-on bag. Then I can see this being more useful. But I felt like this is kind of a wasted space, or it's just kind of, I don't know, the functionality doesn't work on a check-in. Let's see, the other thing I did find to be kind of not very good quality was here I go again with the zipper. I can't get it to zip right, so problems there. The TSA lock, it just doesn't have that premium feel to it. It just when you open it and close it, it just feels kind of cheapy, like it's gonna break it, and like any big bash on it, any light hit to it would break this lock. Outside of that, those are kind of my biggest cons, and they're pretty major cons. So yeah. As for things I do like about this bag, I do like the design. It is kind of nice to look at. I like that there's a hook here for hanging your bag off on this knob. The integrated cup holder is really nice to have for those times that you have like a drink with you and you need to put it somewhere. You don't have to just put it on the floor or stack it up on top of this. You put it right here. That's very convenient. The wheels are nice. They roll smoothly. Everything else is on par with what you'd expect from a bag like this. Okay, let's go ahead and do a capacity test. So I've got a bunch of clothes here. I've got some extra clothes, a pair of pants, some jeans, some bunch of various different items of clothing. This one actually has about 7 t-shirts. I'll put that in there. Close that up. And then on the top lid, if you want to gain access, here's this is a hoodie. Slide that in there. Here's a pair of shoes. You could put it here, you could put it in the other compartment, either way. But first, I'm gonna stick in my laptop into this laptop sleeve here. So that goes in there like that. Slide the shoes in there like this. And then you're all ready to go. And there you go. Okay, so for the one thing I wanted to mention is that the size of this bag compared to the product description, this is a 24-inch check-in bag. The description incorrectly states that these are carry-on, the 24 and the 26 on their product description. They must have had a typo saying that it's a carry-on, and it truly isn't. It's not a carry-on bag. It's a check-in. The only one that's a carry-on is the 20-inch version. But I wanted to mention that even the dimensions that are stated on there do not match what is actual in real life. This is actually, when I measured this out, it was actually quite a bit longer than what was actually stated in the description. For example, like from top to bottom, it says 22 inches, and it actually measured closer to like 23.5 inches. And so, yeah, add about an inch to an inch and a half to each of those dimensions, and you'll get the size of what this is. But yeah, overall, it's for an inexpensive bag, and you don't have a lot. You want to stay within a certain budget. I think it's a relatively decent choice. I don't know how long it would actually last you, but if you're in a pinch and you don't have that much money, I wouldn't, this is not that bad to go with. But overall, I just give this a pretty average rating of a 5 out of 10.